Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to another Cars 3 Diecast review. Today here we have another brand new deluxe in addition to Arvy, who I reviewed recently as well. Today though we have Mr. Drippy. So without any more talk, let's dive right into the review. Of course, thank you so much Bailey Mays at Mays and Boys Toys Co. for helping me get Mr. Drippy, of course, along with Arvy. And I will also be reviewing Sigler in the near future thanks to them. So their eBay store is currently called Code May0. The link to that will be in the description below if you want to check it out. They will be changing it though to Amaze and Boys Toys Co. And then they will also create their own website, so you don't even have to go to eBay. And so, yeah, they're really into the process of like doing all that stuff, and it's going to be awesome. Their email address is also in the description below if you want to contact them about something specific, a specific item, because they have a lot more cars than what's listed on eBay. So I'm sure if you have something in mind that you need, they might actually have it, even though if you don't see it on eBay. And they do ship worldwide, so anywhere in the world, you are covered. So thanks again, guys, and now let's take a look here at the package of Mr. Drippy. Of course, it does say deluxe there because he is a big car, and therefore he's a deluxe. On the back here, of course, we just have Mr. Drippy himself and Arvy. Now, these two cars, like I talked about in my review of Arvy, are in Deluxe Case C and Case D. Now, the reason why they're in both of them consecutively is because Case D is the twin case of Case C, and instead of having Miss Fritter, it actually has the Super Chase of Morgan Martins. That will be limited to 4,000 pieces. So whenever there's a Super Chase, there's always a twin case, and then the case before it is just the regular case that does not have the Super Chase. I'm sure you guys know this if you have been on my channel for at least a year or so, because there were 3 Super Chases last year that had the same exact type of situation. So I don't think these will be too hard to find because they will be in those 2 cases, which will be very nice. Now it says here, blindsided by a new generation of piston cut racers, Lightning McQueen finds himself suddenly pushed out of the sport he loves. To get back on top, he will need the help of a young race technician, aka Cruz Ramirez, inspiration from the late fabulous Hudson Hornet, aka Doc, and guidance from a few old friends along the way, like Mater and Sally. So, just so you guys know, by the way, I'll put the contents to KC and D in the description below. Unfortunately, Mr. Drippy and Arvy are the only new ones in Case C, and obviously they are there again in Case D along with Morgan Martin. So I'll be right back with this awesome deluxe opened up. Here's Mr. Drippy out of the package, looking amazing. And now let's start with his appearance in Cars 3. So he's a brand new character for Cars 3, never before seen in either Cars 1 or Cars 2. He works at the Demolition Derby. He is not a contender, not a participant. That's very important. I've seen some people mistaking him for one of the contenders, just like Arvy, Miss Fritter, and Dr. Damage. But no, he just works there, and he is the one to make sure that the track is completely muddy at all times. So obviously he's this water tanker, and he sprays the water down to make sure it's all muddy. And you can see him doing that in the movie, and he does have some speaking lines as well. I'm not entirely sure if he has been seen in any trailers or not, but if he has, I'll put those pictures on the screen right here so you guys can see him there and compare the diecast to him in the movie. Now, his releases, I think he will only be released as a deluxe so far. I don't think he has a 3-pack release scheduled in the near future, but Arvy does, and that's why I mentioned that, because some of the other Demolition Derby cars are being released in 3-packs, but I don't think he is. I do not believe so. I may be wrong though, or maybe they just haven't announced it yet. Alright, so I think it's now time to get onto the review here. So let's start here with the expression. I'm not a big fan of his expression. He is kind of a funny character in the movie, and this just looks kind of boring to me. Can't really tell if it's like a smile. I guess it's kind of a smile, but I feel like they could have... Oh my goodness. What was that? Anyway, I feel like they could have conveyed a lot more emotion in his expression, and they just didn't. Like, Arvy's expression is amazing. Very, very nicely done. Mr. Drippy is just not up to that standard. But I do like how he's kind of dirty here on the cab portion, which is the only die-cast portion. The back half here, the water tanking portion, is plastic. But this part here is metal. And I like how it's kind of like dusty, dirty, stained. Probably from like mud and just all sorts of stuff that he's been through. On the side here it says, need a bath? What does that say? Need a bath? Call Mr. Drippy. Alright, wait a second, guys. What does that one say? It like says, need a bath hippie. If you guys know what that last word there is on the top line, let me know because I cannot read it. But anyway, I do like the little, raindrop there of water with the smiley face. That looks cool. That face conveys more expression than Mr. Drippy's expression himself. It does say here Diesel 8 with the gear logo around it. So I guess that's like the fuel that he uses. Of course, headlights right here. Pretty typical looking grill. Some lights here on the top. Same thing over here. Maybe I can read it over here. That definitely says hippie. It definitely looks like Hippy, right? Need a bath, hippie? Call Mr. Drippy. So I guess it must be hippie because, I don't know, it's supposed to rhyme or something. It also says Diesel 8 over there as well. And you do have some more mud and dirt around the fenders. I do like his rims. They're very cool. We haven't really seen anything like these. And I think they look very realistic as well. He has these two like little barrels here on either side. Never quite found out what those barrels are used for. But anyway, moving on to the back half of him. I like the red lights here, for caution. Warnings right there along the side. It does say water, but it's not like very nice font or anything. It's not that like professional. It's like someone just spray painted on or like drew it on or something. So that's pretty accurate to the movie and I do like that. Water. On the top here, you have his little hatch. Let's see if it does come out or anything. I don't think so. I don't think this guy has any moving parts. He would have, or he could have had moving parts. I feel like it would have been a nice opportunity, but I just don't think he does, unfortunately. On the back here, he's also a little dirty and dusty. You can see that the blue is faded a little bit. Down here, it's a little bit cleaner than up top here. Makes sense. Need a bath, hippie. Yep, that definitely says hippie. Call Mr. Drippy. And we have the little raindrop there. Looks a little bit different than over here. I guess that makes sense though because this is an outline and it's not filled in. But on the back here, it is filled in. So I guess that's cool that they changed it up as well. Now here are the water sprayers that he has. This is an extra added like rubber plastic piece. So you can like swivel it a little bit, but be careful because it's not really supposed to come out or anything. So just be careful because you might accidentally break it off. He does have some logos down here and whatnot. It says caution with some stuff that I can't read below it. His license plate is H2O4U. So a pretty straightforward license plate right there. No need to decipher that, right guys? H2O means water and then 4U, so water for you. Makes sense. Then there's a yellow circle with what looks to be a green piston on top of it. And then it looks like there's some text going around the piston. I can't read that at all, but yeah, it's kind of interesting. I just don't know what it means. Of course, we have the caution bumper down here. Very nice. And I really do like his mud flaps because they are labeled Trucko. You do have the like globe behind Trucko there with the banner sticking out as well. Very nice. Something that we don't get much are mud flaps that are labeled, especially, I mean, even on like the semis, they aren't really labeled unless they're a piston cup semi and then they have like the sponsor on there. So that is definitely nice to see. Lots of detailing here on the back of Mr. Drippy, which is very, very cool. Also, I forgot to point out, he has a little control system over here on his right side. It's also on his left side as well. I don't know how I missed it. Just a little control panel with some buttons and presumably a lever to control the amount of water that flows out. Now on the base here, of course, you have the normal codes. The front half of him is put together with rivets and the back portion is put together with screws. So pretty interesting there. It's kind of surprising that they use 4 in total. Let's see how many Miss Fritter has. Yeah, she only has 2 rivets, but maybe that's because she's like entirely metal all the way from up here to the back, which is absolutely amazing. Let's see, Arvy. Yeah, 2 rivets, that makes sense because he's all metal as well. Dr. Damage, he has 1 rivet and 2 screws. Alright. So yeah, nice kind of change of pace there because now we have 4 different things. So that's pretty much it for Mr. Drippy. I'm not entirely sure if I like him more than Arvy. I really like Arvy, the expression, just that he's all metal. I mean, Mr. Drippy, it makes sense that they couldn't do this portion in metal, but it still gives Arvy an advantage because he is like full metal diecast right there. But now let's move on to some comparisons. The only car really that I thought was worthy of a comparison with Mr. Drippy was the Nazca truck from Moon Mater. Yeah, probably because they're both blue, but they're both trucks, both deluxes. Mr. Drippy is a very, very unique car, making him very hard to find like another car to compare him to. Let me know in the comment section below if I'm overlooking something, or is there like another water tanker that I just completely blanked out on? I mean, I know there are fire trucks, but they look insanely different as well. Like, there's not really any car. I feel like actually Mayday may be like the most similar to him, but still, he's very different because he's meant to be a fire truck. Mr. Drippy is just meant to be a water tanker. I do want to compare Mr. Drippy to the other Demolition Derby Deluxes because, you know, they all fit together in like one category. I'm sure a lot of people will be putting all 4 of these together in their collections. Mine are a little spread out because Arvy and Dr. Damage fit into my display case, whereas Miss Fritter does not. We'll see if Mr. Drippy does. He'll definitely be close, but he may have to go up top or in the area with Miss Fritter, which I'm sure wouldn't be a bad thing. It'd actually balance it out a little bit because Miss Fritter's kind of alone where she is right now. I might do another collection video in the future. I usually want to do those every other year, but I don't know. There's been a lot of changes, so I think another collection video may be necessary, but I don't know. Those are a lot of work, guys. If you guys saw my last ones that I did, yeah, I say ones because there was part 1 and part 2. It was June of 2016. They were both like a half an hour long, and it was awesome. Like, I really enjoyed doing them, but yeah, they're a lot of work. So I think I'll probably wait until next year to do another collection video, just, you know, to let the changes accumulate even more. So when you guys see the new collection video, you'll be like, wow, so much has changed. This is awesome. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Of course, this is Dr. Damage if you guys don't know. One easy way to distinguish that Mr. Drippy is not a contender is the tires. Like, the Demolition Derby cars tires all have like markings on them and colors or white spray paints, and Mr. Drippy clearly does not. They're just regular. Here are Arvy's. So let me know in the comment section below, who do you prefer out of the 4 of these now? And who do you prefer between these 2, Arvy or Mr. Drippy, since they're both the newer deluxes here? I think out of the 4, it's gotta be Miss Fritter, then Arvy, and then probably Mr. Drippy. I'm sorry, Dr. Damage. And then out of these 2, I have to go with Arvy just because he looks a little bit cooler in my opinion. Come on, Mr. Drippy, you're going to get center stage. It's your video today. It's your video. Put you there on the angle. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you Amaze and Boys Toys Co. and Bailey Mays for helping me out with Mr. Drippy here. If you guys want to see my review of Sig Alert in the near future, just leave a comment below. I'm sure I'll be reviewing him soon anyway, but if you guys want to see him super soon, just go ahead and leave a comment. I'll get that video out as soon as possible. But yeah, guys, thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. I'm not entirely sure when I'm going to release this video. Probably Sunday night, at least here in the United States, it would be Sunday night. And then Monday morning, I'm heading to Canada, Montreal to be specific. So it's going to be a quick 4-day vacation. It's going to be a lot of fun. Maybe I'll do a vlog, maybe not. It really depends on how much new footage, or not really new, but like footage of interesting stuff I can gather. I am going to a couple stores, Toys R Us and Walmart, so I'm super hyped about that. It's been like a dream of mine for years to go to stores with cars outside of the United States. Like, I always wanted to do that just to see like how different it is and see what stock they have. I know people in Canada, like my friends in Canada, they say like you don't want to come here and look for cars because we don't get anything good. And I understand that, but I'm still excited because it's just a new experience for me being an American. Alright guys, I'll catch you guys next time for another video. Bye now!